Hey, what's up? This is Andy Milanakis here. Now, recently I've been seeing more and more people wanting to get into the techwear style and aesthetic, and something that I've noticed is that there's a bit of a disparity between those people who are new to techwear and just posting their first techwear fits, and people who have been doing this sort of thing for a little bit longer. So this is not supposed to be a video on like what not to do or kind of 5 things that you have to do in every photo, etc. This is more just me identifying some of the differences between the newer photos and the older one, and maybe if you are in that category of the newer person, kind of like me to an extent, then some ideas of how you can maybe move towards those pictures that you will have seen come up a lot on Reddit, Instagram, etc. Okay, number 1 is image quality. Obviously, no one really likes looking at a blurry mirror pic because it just doesn't visually look that great. But the other important thing about this is that it makes it difficult for people to tell what you're actually wearing and pick out some of the details of that. Especially in techwear when there's a lot of black stuff and a lot of the focus is on the fit of stuff and those cuts as opposed to branding and color details. It's really important to try and get those images that are nicely exposed so you can actually see that detail nice and crisply. The best way to solve this problem, of course, is the most difficult way, which is you get one of your photographer mates and then you go out somewhere so you can grab some pictures of your outfit kind of in situ, like where it's designed to be worn, kind of techwear in the environment type thing. And you can get some really great photos that way. It doesn't have to be that complicated, of course. You can literally just grab a tripod or just prop your camera up on something, get a self-timer on, and then just stand in front of it somewhere, relatively plain background. If you fancy going a bit further than that, you can do a bit of light editing like how I do, and then just cut out all the background stuff just to ensure that all the focus is on your outfit and you're getting rid of any background details. So that's probably the easiest thing to fix because you don't really have to change or buy anything. It's just a case of changing the way that you take those photos in order to make your stuff look as good as possible. Number 2 is accessories. So as in any kind of subgenre of fashion, accessories are definitely important in techwear. I think they can often get overshadowed because people place a lot of emphasis and focus on jackets and hard shells, like, you know, all those acronym ACG things. But often those big hype jacket pieces will be paired up with smaller accessories like face masks, balaclavas, belts, all that kind of thing, just to add that a little bit extra detail to an outfit. So a lot of people at the moment like to wear those Cobra belts, which have those dangling bits down each side, and that just makes pretty much any pair of trousers look that little bit more exciting. Face masks are very much a staple of techwear. People just seem to like hiding their face, and it definitely looks good with a style. So that's 100% something to invest in. You can pick these up super cheap. It doesn't have to be some kind of hype brand or anything. You don't need your Supreme Bape face mask or whatever. Don't forget about bags as well. Bags add a lot of functionality to an outfit, especially if you've got a jacket which isn't particularly technical, which maybe doesn't have loads of extra pockets and stuff. And often jackets can be quite plain and boring on the back. So if you've got a cool backpack on, then that helps mask that sort of plain look from the back and give it a little bit more texture, a bit more shape, and again, more interesting stuff going on in your outfit. As I say, using accessories I think is especially important if you're relatively new to this style, because chances are you might not have invested in that insanely expensive acronym jacket or similar. You're just going to be rocking a relatively normal hard shell, and chances are that might look a little bit plain. So it's important to jazz that up with a little bit more on the accessory side of things. Number 3 is branding. This is definitely a little bit of a sticking point among techwear enthusiasty types, some of whom will totally reject branding of any kind. They won't want any branding on any of their clothing. And then I think another group of people might accept a little bit of branding so long as it's the right or the cool brands. I'm not really the kind of person that thinks that you have to wear certain brands to look cool or whatever, but it is undeniable that certain brands have certain perceptions, because a North Face jacket by itself doesn't really say techwear that much. It more says just kind of general outdoor waterproof gear. So if you are just wearing a plain jacket and a plain pair of waterproof trousers, then I do think you need to do a little bit more work to dress that up so that it bears more of a techwear aesthetic. Number 4 is fit and silhouette. Clothing which is too tight doesn't really look good in any kind of fashion subcategory, and techwear is certainly no exception to that. A lot of techwear clothing, cargo trousers, hard shells, etc., I feel just need a little bit of space to kind of breathe so you can get a little bit of bulk under there, make things look a little bit bigger, a little bit more flowy than if you're wearing something which is skin tight. You'll notice that a lot of pants people wear in techwear fits have quite a relaxed look, They'll either be cropped or tapered in some way so that they kind of come down to the ankle, but often the thigh area will not really be very skin tight. There'll be a little bit of kind of space around there, and that can be something that a lot of people who are new to techwear don't really get, because especially coming from streetwear and stuff where slim and skinny jeans are pretty much ubiquitous, it can be quite unusual and quite difficult to get your head around wearing something that's a little bit wider than that. But it is really important to add a more interesting silhouette than just a skin tight straight up and down jobby. The same applies for jackets, of course, as well. Jackets with 2 zips I think are really helpful in this, because you can open up the jacket at the bottom so it loses that slim fit around the waist type thing and just has a little bit more space as you move into the bottom half of the outfit. Number 5 is footwear. Often people who are relatively new to techwear will use something that they already own in terms of sneakers for their techwear fit, and that's not necessarily a bad thing to do, and there are definitely plenty of normal sneakers out there which can look great with techwear. However, these can be quite different to what people would typically find in a techwear fit. I'm not saying that everyone has to buy Acronym Prestos or the Air Force One Downtowns or Lunar Force Ones, etc, etc, but there are a lot of shapes out there which are quite technical in the way that they appear. They've got quite a lot going on, zips, etc, interesting methods of fastening them, or have quite futuristic silhouettes and shapes and materials as well to an extent. All of those things are really important and can definitely change other people's perceptions of a fit from standard outdoor gear to something with more of a techwear futuristic aesthetic. So I think for me, those are really the 5 most important things that separate those people that are relatively new to techwear and the kind of photos on Instagram and across the internet that inspire people to get into the style. So again, these 5 things are definitely not rules that you have to follow. I don't really subscribe to that idea that in order to fit into certain styles, you 100% have to do X, Y, Z thing. Like, I've seen really cool techwear fits that don't really use futuristic looking shoes, or they don't use oversized things, like a more athleisure type look, where things are quite fitted. But yeah, either way, hopefully this will provide some kind of guidance for you guys who are relatively new to this kind of thing, as it does for me, to be honest. Like, I don't do all of these things all the time. And I'm always looking to improve the pictures that I take and the outfits that I present to other people. And if you did enjoy the video, do you remember to give it a like? I really do appreciate it. Loads of you guys watched the last video, in fact, which I'm really happy about. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed that one, and there'll be loads more in the future. So catch you guys in the next one. Shout out to F for coming up with the best techwear item of clothing ever conceivably imagined. And to Ian Dubs. Of course, more videos will be going up there and there if you want to check those out, and there's always a subscribe button lurking around somewhere over in that little corner. So if you enjoyed this video, you want to catch some more stuff when it comes out next week and the week after, etc, then hit that and you can check them out.